All right, here we go. Coming up on today's Philadelphia Eagles. Now, how the Aaron Rodgers injury impacts the Birds. Some concerning injury news on James Bradberry with his status coming off concussion going into Thursday Night Football. We'll also take a look at the rest of the Eagles injury report. And the Vikings also banged up on a short week as well. Before we dive into all of this, I want to say thank you personally and all of us here at Chat Sports to all of you for supporting the show. During our watch party on Sunday, we surpassed 50,000 subscribers. There are very few YouTube channels out there that can get to that milestone, especially in a competitive space, covering the Eagles, but also covering an NFL team. So thank you so much for supporting the program here. And we celebrated during that watch party. We're also going to celebrate today as well. I want all the real ones to be there tonight. 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. We'll also do a couple of segments, interact with the Fly Eagles Fly family, and break down all of the latest Philadelphia Eagles news and rumors. So turn on those noties. We'll see you in a bit, but for right now, there's a lot to get to with this show. So the news of the season-ending injury to Aaron Rodgers has sent a ripple effect across the entire National Football League, and it does impact Philadelphia. It also impacts this division too, because the Dallas Cowboys going to take on the New York Jets in Week 2, with the Jets coming off that emotional walk-off win on the punt return last night on Monday Night Football. You had Josh Allen throwing picks left and right. Jets coming back. Zach Wilson replacing Aaron Rodgers. A thrilling game. Joe Buck was in his bag, too, with a couple of really good calls. I know there are some Joe Buck detractors out there, but I thought he had a good play-by-play last night. Aaron Rodgers, that injury, our worst fears as football fans. Torn Achilles. He's now going to be out for the remainder of the 2023 season after only a couple of snaps. So his New York Jets tenure ends in a blink. And I know that all of you watching the show, you're Philadelphia Eagles fans. I'm with you. Go Birds. But for the lovers of ball, this news sucks, because this was a storyline that a lot of people were looking forward to. Aaron Rodgers going from Green Bay to New York. The Jets as an organization have been desperate for a quarterback. They haven't had a good one since Chad Pennington. I mean, Mark Sanchez, Eagle legend, he took them to back-to-back AFC championship games, but they haven't had a top-tier guy like this in decades and decades. And the best quarterback they've had recently, Chad Pennington, in the early 2000s. So they spend and invest so much in Aaron Rodgers. He won back-to-back MVPs in 2020, 2021. I thought he was going to be able to revitalize himself to a certain degree and maybe bring that Jets team back. If you watched them last night, dogs all across the defensive side of the football, and offensively, they had a couple of really good players as well. Now, as for how this impacts the Philadelphia Eagles, it does, and I feel bad for Jets fans because they can seemingly never get a break. I never want to rock that shade of green. I'm cool with the midnight green, but I feel for them because only a few plays into Aaron Rodgers' tenure, and just like that, season is over, and now they have to go with Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunter. So as for how this impacts the Philadelphia Eagles, you look at the Eagles' schedule here. So they beat the New England Patriots in Week 1. Scrappy game, a quality victory. Short week against the Minnesota Vikings coming up on Thursday Night Football. Then they have an extended week. They play the Buccaneers Monday Night Football Week 3, Commanders in Week 4, and this is where the schedule for the Eagles starts to get pretty difficult. Week 5 on the road against a Rams team that might be better than what we anticipated because they dump trucked the Seattle Seahawks in Week 1. And Philadelphia now, no longer at MetLife Stadium up I-95 North, has to take on the Aaron Rodgers-led New York Jets. Instead, as of right now, Robert Saleh, head coach, has said it's going to be Zach Wilson. But escaping Rodgers here, that does wonders for Philadelphia, because I thought he was going to be able to have a bounce-back season. And you talk about the difficult stretch of the schedule. It starts with the West Coast trip against the Rams. You miss out on Aaron Rodgers. The Dolphins lit up the scoreboard against the Chargers. On the road against the Commanders. Second matchup against them. Always a difficult one to win. Then you have the Cowboys Week 9, bye week. On the road against the Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch Monday Night Football. Bills, Niners. And I think this stretch is difficult as well. On the road against the Cowboys. on the road against the Seahawks. Then you have the Giants 2 times and 3 weeks. So with missing Aaron Rodgers, it lightens the load on that portion of the schedule just a little bit. As for options outside of Zach Wilson, a name thrown out there last night by Adam Schefter, former Eagle, Carson Wentz, who we last saw trying to land a job across the National Football League, who was unsuccessful in doing so, and this is the famous image that we saw from that workout. Eagles helmet, Washington practice jersey, Colts shorts. If Zach Wilson struggles, could Carson Wentz get a call? We will certainly see. So that's the latest on Aaron Rodgers and how it impacts the Birds. We're only getting started because coming up next, latest Eagles injury news and how the Vikings are holding up on the injury front as well. First, though, let's get the comment section going here. I want you to name this Eagle. List all of your answers down in the comment section here. Who was number 80 at this moment of time in the course of franchise history? List those names and those answers down below in the comment section. We'll reveal the true answer coming up here at some point in the remainder of the show. First, though, today's show is sponsored by AG1. I start every single one of my days with AG1, and it sets the foundation for the rest of my day. Not only is it Eagles colors, but it tastes great. It's great for you, and I'm about to finish my daily bottle right now after I hang up the headset and get done for Philadelphia Eagles now. You can go to drinkag1.com/chatsports to see for yourself. We're going to put that link in the comment section and in the description of this video. With AG1, I get all of my nutritional needs first thing in the morning to set the foundation for the rest of my day. It's great for me. It tastes amazing, and you can build a foundation for a better health with AG1. I gave it a try because given my work schedule, especially during football season, and my workout regimen, I wanted to sustain energy. I wanted to keep my immune system strong so that I can still be on the air every single day, giving you some killer content and strive toward my professional work life and personal fitness goals. I'm very picky about what I put into my body, so I try to steer clear of chemicals, harsh ingredients, which is also why I love AG1 and its 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients. The benefits of daily use: promotes gut health, supports immunity, and you see this energy that I have on camera? I'm bringing it because I'm about to finish my bottle of AG1. We have a great deal for all of you watching the show. 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D. All I do, very simple, mix 1 small scoop of AG1 with water, drink it first thing each morning or after my workouts. I also love that something that's this good for you and prioritizing your health and wellness. One life, one body, costs less than $3 a day. So go to drinkag1.com/chatsports. drinkag1.com/chatsports. You can check it out. Link is available in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. And on today's Eagles Now Live at 6 o'clock Eastern, you send in some super chats, or if you send in a super thanks right now on this show, it's the heart icon with the $sign through it, I will beer bong some AG1 for all of you out there to make it even funnier and get some additional nutritional benefits. Okay, so on the Eagles injury front here, Eagles defensive depth being tested, short week, going up against the Minnesota Vikings for this home opener at Lincoln Financial Field. Multiple Eagles starters are hurting going into Thursday's game against Minnesota. We talked about Nakobe Dean yesterday, set to miss multiple weeks with that ankle injury. Practice squad candidate, elevating Nicholas Morrow up to the active roster as another off-ball linebacker to take his spot. The Eagles did sign former first-round pick Rashaan Evans. He played last year with Atlanta. We broke that signing, as I mentioned, down on yesterday's show. And Nakobe Dean, I think the impact of him not playing in this game is going to be felt for Philadelphia's defense. He was really good against the run. Upon going back and watching the game tape against the New England Patriots, overall Pro Football Focus grade was not great, but his run grade, according to Pro Football Focus, 90.3. Doesn't get much better than that. As for James Bradberry, this is concerning because you're going to be going up against Kirk Cousins. I understand primetime Kirk, but I like the Vikings receiving core. Justin Jefferson got locked down by Darius Slay last year at this juncture of the season at Lincoln Financial Field, but I imagine the Vikings with that offense are going to try to get Justin Jefferson in motion. and they're going to try to match him up with Josh Jobe if Bradberry cannot go, because Bradberry has been placed in concussion protocol. Josh Jobe did replace him against New England. He's that top backup. Tough turnaround for Bradberry to play in this game on Thursday Night Football, especially given the injury that it is, but also the hyper-awareness that there is across the NFL with these concussion injuries. Now, Nick Sirianni is very confident in Josh Jobe, the UDFA from Alabama who cracked this roster 2 years ago and made the roster for a second consecutive season. Here's what the Eagles head man had to say about Jobe. We have a lot of confidence in Josh. That's why he's made our roster the last 2 years. I think he's a really physical corner who's long, strong, is able, when he gets his hands on you, is able to control you. We've got a lot of faith in him regardless of who's in there. We know we can play the schemes we want to play because Josh is our third corner. Your third corner has to play. There are times when he is going to have to play some, and it looks as though he's going to be thrust into a larger role against that Vikings offense. Credit to that Eagles defense, too, for how they closed out the game against New England, because Mac Jones looked a lot better than anticipated with Bill O'Brien calling the plays back in New England. Elsewhere on the Eagles injury report here, outside of James Bradberry and Nakobe Dean, Reed Blankenship did not practice on Monday because of a rib injury. Fletcher Cox with a rib injury. He was walking around a little bit lightly after the game on Sunday. And then Kenneth Gainwell landing on the injury report too going into week 2. Nick Sirianni, Brian Johnson. Hopefully they're on a better page. Hopefully we see more of DeAndre Swift. He is so much more dynamic than Kenneth Gainwell, who I think is a really good backup running back, but he doesn't have the talent of DeAndre Swift. Nick Sirianni even said after the game, I don't want to come out of any game in which Swift only has about 2 touches. And then we shift gears to the Vikings injury report. They're a little bit banged up at positions of importance considering the matchup against the Eagles. Top 8 get-off times in week 1 across the NFL. That's the amount of time it takes for you to get off the line of scrimmage after the ball was snapped. 5 of those players belonging to the Philadelphia Eagles roster. And on the Vikings injury report, you have Garrett Bradberry, who's ailing with a back injury. You have Christian Darrisaw with an ankle injury. 2 anchors on that Vikings offensive line, and then one of their pass rushers as well. They gave Marcus Davenport kind of a 1-year prove-it deal. He has an ankle injury that could impact their pass rush to a certain degree. So, with that, we ask you this. Who you got Thursday Night Football? We're going to preview this game during our live show here on this beautiful Tuesday. MIN for Minnesota, PHI for the Philadelphia Eagles. And earlier, we asked you to name this Eagle. Who is it? The legend, Irving Fryar. Actually, a funny story. Irving Fryar, Ricky Watters, the 2 first Eagles jerseys that I ever owned. And I remember going to a bookstore with my dad and sister in the Philadelphia suburbs somewhere. I think it was near Phoenixville, as I grew up kind of in that area. I remember going to a signing with Irving Fryar, and he signed one of my jerseys. It was awesome. I'm pretty sure I still have that jersey. Maybe we bring it out during our Thursday watch party if we want to get weird. Another reminder, thank you so much for 50,000 subscribers for a guy who grew up in Westchester, and this show is produced by producer Jake Chipper, who grew up in Bucks County. It's awesome to see the channel grow like this. This is my dream job that we're living out right now, so it's pretty special and awesome milestone. We're going to continue to grow. Next up, we're shooting for that YouTube plaque, but to celebrate 50K, that's a dub. Come join us on our live show here on Tuesday, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. We'll go through an Eagles-Vikings preview, a whole lot more, so we'll see you there. Hit that sub button, and we thank you for watching the show.